How do? So, where are we at? I don't mean literally. Found this little niche in the park now where I come and do my vlogs when it's too hot to walk the boy. So Phil Schofield and his sidekick Holly, TV presenters. If you don't know, you're not from this country. The TV presenters, and I would go as far as saying celebrities. Yeah, and just recently, revelations, the great British media, because we live in Great Britain, don't we? I do. It's not the United Kingdom as the EU wants to call it, it's Great Britain. So I'm going to use that. The media, you know, they wouldn't know a true story or a real life story or something worldly, i.e. conflict. Let's look at Ukraine and how to report on it honestly. Yeah. So we've been bombarded with Philip Schofield. He's befriending a young person, and then I believe at a legal age starting an affair with this young person. Moral outrage everywhere, which is fine. You know, these two people, Phil and Holly, various other people have sat on the couch with them, interviews, presenting news that isn't newsworthy for years. You know, model citizens telling you how to live your life. Yeah, and then it turns out that Phil Schofield, you know, has had an affair. It happens, families break up. The people it affects are close family. If I was to have an affair, you know, my missus, the families, my daughter, that's what happens. Yeah, but I'm not a media star, I'm not a celebrity. You know, you can have years and years on front pages and people talking about you and going places and premieres and telling everyone, you know, what a model citizen you are and how to lead your life. But when you fall from grace, the media will jump on that. Again, the media of Great Britain, mainstream media, wouldn't know a good story if one fell in their lap. They're not interested. There is a narrative. They feed you crap. So for weeks and weeks we've had Philip Schofield, and I've been asked more than once, you know, to sort of give my views on this. I'm sick of hearing it. You know, we live in a time when police and politicians have covered up thousands and thousands of cases of young people, children, being abused, being manipulated by adults, gangs of adults, and abused, the worst kind of abuse, physical, mental and sexual. Yeah, and police and politicians have covered it up. Where's the continued moral outrage? People don't want to know, do they? They're not interested. They don't want to hear about things like that. It's uncomfortable talking about it. It's been mentioned to me many times, you know, stop talking about these things. Why do you talk about it on the channel? Well, I'll tell you why. Everyone I've interviewed for this channel pretty much has been abused. Whether that's physical, sexual, mental, or all three as a child. A lot of the lads I used to lock up, abused as kids. Yeah, we all have life choices, we keep saying that, don't we? However, we are a product of our childhood. I'll give you a few facts, shall I? I'm going to use facts from the good old United States of America. In the UK, it's very difficult to find out some facts, but I will tell you, in this country, hundreds, if not thousands of kids, young kids, go missing every year. No moral outrage. Maddie McCann, we all know about that, don't we? The young lass that went missing. I guess we'll never know what happened to her. However, hundreds go missing every year. In the United States of America, the good old United States, 800,000 young children, yeah, go missing every year. 800,000, nearly a million. It's estimated the trafficking of children worldwide as an industry brings in 34 billion. 34 billion, I believe. The total money made by airlines, every airline in the world is 24 billion. So child trafficking is more profitable than running an airline company. In fact, all the world's airline companies. It's something that's uncomfortable and people don't want to talk about. Moral outrage. So yeah, I have an opinion. My opinion is I'm not interested in Philip Schofield or Holly. He always manages to find a ball. Or Holly Willoughby has to say. You know, what happens when people fall out or there's an affair or something happens in real life, yeah? Just the same that's happening to them, but we're not under the spotlight the same, are they? You know, we don't have a media coverage. We're not in OK magazine and Celebrity magazine. So like I say, if that's your lifestyle and, you know, you take the moral high ground and you fall from grace, it's going to come back and bite you in the arse. The real people I feel sorry for in this case, as always, is close families of people involved. And hopefully people are watching over some of these family members so nothing untoward happens. Nobody harms themselves. Nobody kills themselves. Yeah? Me, it's all about the kids. Addiction, addicts, looking at addicts. We're not interested in dealing, you know, with the root cause of addiction. You know, there's no counselling or therapies for many people. We just feed into it, don't we? I'm taking a pause there because, you know, me personally, it's all about kids. There's a lot of things wrong with this world. If all the good people in the world, which for me will definitely outweigh the bad, yeah, stood up and were counted and stood up for children and children's rights and vulnerable people's rights, the world would be a better place. There is people out there, you know, put their neck on the line, speak out and fight the good fight, as it were. So when it comes to people like Philip Schofield and all the angers on, the ex-friends, the people who are supporting him, the public who say leave him alone, you know, he's at risk of killing himself, the people who say he should hang him, you know, he's a child groomer and that, yeah, you can have your opinions, guys. Me, I'm not interested. There's a lot of things happening in this world that are truly evil. Again, I'll just repeat them figures for America. 800,000 children go missing every year. Young children being trafficked. A very scary statistic. A lot of these children that are trafficked have no birth certificates. And do you know why? Because it's easier to get rid of them. It's easier to make them disappear. It's easier to kill them and get away with it. I'm going to finish on that note today. All about the kids. Thanks for coming. I'll sit there.